Today, I'm bringing you the RX processor from MANGMI technology. It's powered by the Qualcomm Snapdragon 662, has a 5.5-inch 1080p screen, comes with Hall effect joysticks, a 5000 mAh battery, and is equipped with active cooling. The one I have here is a misprinted limited edition without external buttons but with a double X configuration, as a tribute to a certain someone's X series. Today, I'm also bringing you a comprehensive gaming experience with this device. Alright, without further ado, let's start by setting it to double resolution. Still that familiar opening God of War, Chains of Olympus. The opening battle is smooth. There might be occasional frame drops, but it's mostly running at 60 frames per second, and the speed is full. We haven't enabled any frame skipping. With double resolution and this 16:9 screen, playing this PSP game feels great. God of War titles on PSP are demanding in performance. If you can get double resolution in less complex scenes, it's playable. Some skill effects are missing here, but once we progress a bit, learn some new skills, and fight a boss, we'll check again to see if there are any frame drops. When you use skills during a boss fight, the frame rate drops. If you use a skill yourself, it might drop by about 5 frames, but if the boss uses a skill, it can fall below 50 frames, and the speed will slow down as well. Fortunately, most combat scenes stay at 60 frames. Testing God of War involves this door opening segment, checking joystick precision. Can be opened. Aside from God of War, many other games aren't that demanding on performance. On this device, you can run them at 4 times resolution, which is close to the screen's 1080p. The quality of this screen is actually quite good. The Snapdragon 662 processor's performance feels just right. It's enough for PSP games. On the PSP, aside from a few particularly demanding games, there are still many that can be run at 4 times the resolution. I tried a few things. If it can't handle 4 times resolution steadily, we can lower it to 3 or even 2 times and lag will be reduced. You could say that the MANGMI device is pretty accurately positioned in the market. The original PSP's resolution is 480 by 272, with a 4.3-inch 16:9 screen. For some older gamers like me, the original screen is just too small. The decoding latency for PC streaming is 11 milliseconds, which is definitely playable. You can totally use it as a budget streaming handheld. The decoding latency on the PS5 might be a bit higher, mainly because of its software issues. I played for a while myself, and it's still playable, no major problems. So, can it play Switch games? At this point, we have to bring out our collection of quality mini-games again. Here, it's running at 720p resolution, but honestly, it's not really playable. Even games like Dave the Diver, which are already pretty lightweight, only run at a little over 10 frames per second, not even 20, and there's still some stuttering. For New Super Mario Bros. U, I set the resolution to 0.25x here, so Switch games are already as blurry as NDS games, and the speed is also a bit sluggish. 0.25x resolution is 180p, and I'm messing around with this to show you guys its actual performance. Just take a look and get a sense of it, no need to take it too seriously. The audio in this game also has some issues with a bit of distortion, so we can pretty much say goodbye to these high-quality indie games. Let's try playing some 3DS games next. First, let's check out this 2D title. There are occasional minor stutters, but at native resolution it basically runs fine, and the frame rate stays at 60 FPS. Let's switch to 2x resolution and give it a try. It seems to handle 2x just fine too, though there are a few more small stutters. But with this emulator, the more you play, the smoother it gets, and the frame rate doesn't really change. Still, I bet it won't handle 3x resolution. 3D games, especially more demanding ones, start to struggle a bit. But thanks to it being a powerful Snapdragon chip, there aren't any noticeable texture glitches or visual artifacts. Maybe by now some pros are already teaching everyone how to tweak the settings so you can learn how to fix things up. But I still recommend using the Baihua emulator to play. This one just feels a lot more normal in terms of speed. But the first time you launch this emulator, it will still lag quite a bit. It's probably compiling the shaders. It should run smoother the next time you open it. After showing its performance, there are stutters. So, about these two emulators, honestly, for Snapdragon chips, the improvement isn't significant. The Baihua emulator offers a bigger performance boost for non-Snapdragon chips. Optimization varies from game to game, so you'll need to try things out. I also tested a few PS games, but they were simple titles that don't demand much performance. If you try something too demanding, it's definitely going to struggle. For example, in Super Robot Wars, there are frame drops and stutters when switching scenes. Most of the time, it's still pretty stable. Break time equals 0.5s/. Occasional frame skipping is still quite playable, I'd say, for the most part. For God Hand, using the very familiar and widely recognized Blue Ether emulator, I carefully disabled the grayscale feature and then enabled the thread display option to clearly show you precisely how it currently runs. Frame drops and stutters make it not worth fixing. If you can tolerate frame skipping, play it. Otherwise, you can't play the PS2 version. Then I went ahead and tried Red Ether, and it felt like the smoothness improved just a little bit. A slight improvement. It still drops frames when it's supposed to. With Android 4, you can play a lot of games that have been ported to Android, like Dead Cells. And also, the game Bertado, a very fun and engaging experience. Alright folks, that's it for the game showcase section. Two versions crashed the game to the home screen upon installation. With previous demonstrations, I believe you all now have a general idea of this machine's performance. Let's look at appearance. The device weighs 277 grams, which feels light in hand. PSV 1,290 grams, Switch Lite 282 grams, and PSP 185 grams. Here's a comparison of their respective sizes for everyone, as well as their thickness. The device comes in 3 colors. Besides the 2 I have, there's also a black version. I'm quite satisfied with button feel, looks, and build quality. Looking to mid-2025, I hope manufacturers step up their game, offering players more choices. I've included resources you might need in the description. That's it for this episode.